Meanwhile, Congress MP Manish Tewari has raised suspicion on the fairness of the upcoming polls to elect the party's new president and has also asked the party to publish the list of the names of all those who would be participating in the voting process in interests of quote-unquote fairness and transparency. All right, now after Azad, Anand Sharma, Manish Tewari and now Shashi Tharoor has also hinted at the ambiguity surrounding the election of the Congress president. Tharoor says, and I quote here, only if the democracy comes, Congress party will succeed. He further says, and I quote, I agree that there are certain issues within the party, but certainly a change will come. Remember, that's the latest that we're picking up. This as the suspense over the next Congress president continues. And it was yesterday, in fact, that reports hinted that Shashi Tharoor, known for his excellent vocabulary, Shashi Tharoor, senior Congress leader, is likely to throw his hat in the ring. Remember, there have been reports of Shashi Tharoor competing for the top Congress posts. However, even though there have been reports stating that Tharoor is going to be competing for the top Congress post, Shashi Tharoor himself has declined to comment on this whole development. And on this note, I'm being once again joined by my colleague, Samia, live on the broadcast. Samia, once again, the spotlight is back on the suspense, on the cloud over who is going to be the next Congress president. Now, as per reports, Tharoor is all set to throw his hat in the ring. But what are you picking up from your sources? Finally, will a non-Gandhi will be helming the grand old party? Fair enough to assume, rather say, that finally a non-Gandhi is all set to in fact lead the party this time?
Well, it's too early to speculate on that front because even as we speak right now, there are efforts being made by several senior Congress leaders to try and convince Rahul Gandhi to come back and helm the Congress party as the Congress party president. But Rahul Gandhi is unwilling so far, and he maintains that he is willing to be a loyal foot soldier of the Congress party and do all that he can in his capacity to build the Congress party. But having said that, of course, there are names of non-Gandhis which are doing the rounds as far as Mallikarjun Kharge is concerned, Ashok Gehlot is concerned, Mukul Vasnik is concerned. But what really gets our attention over here is that the G23, which a group of leaders who had written a letter to Sonia Gandhi demanding reforms to resurrect the party, they maintain that if the Congress president is one of those who's going to be a puppet on a string for the Gandhis, then they are going to field a candidate of their own who is going to be a challenger. But both sides are trying to keep their cards close to their chest, and they are trying to play the wait-and-watch game to see who is going to be the first leader of the Congress party who will file his nomination as the Congress president. Now, that is where the entire story revolves around, and we did hear about Shashi Tharoor's name all of yesterday, and even today in the morning, it was Manish Tewari who put out like a series of tweets demanding that the entire process of voting as far as the list of voters, the electoral roll is concerned, that should be made public to ensure there is a free and fair election that takes place. Transparency is what they are definitely emphasizing on. But the Congress party maintains that this has been a set practice adhering to the Constitution's own, Congress's own Constitution, and that is the reason why they have not really publicly made the electoral roll available. The precedent that they have been citing is that once nomination is filed, then the list of electorates are given to those concerned candidates. We have to wait and see who is going to be the first person who files his nomination. And come October, Congress is going to have a new commander-in-chief in place. And that's the reason why both sides are trying to wait and watch, even though Rahul Gandhi is all set to carry out the Padyatra, Bharat Jodo Padyatra, and the Mehngai Ke Khilaf Halla Bol. These are the two important events that are set to take place in the next week per se. But in October, the process of electing the Congress's new Congress president is going to be taking place. The Congress prides itself in the fact that they are the only political party that carries out internal election, which is also recognized by the Election Commission. So even though the Congress party maintains that Rahul Gandhi is the popular face, we do not really know as yet whether Rahul Gandhi has agreed to return as the Congress president, or could we see a non-Gandhi taking charge, a demand that has echoed from various ranks of the Congress party.
All right, Samia, thank you so much for joining us with all those big details.